We just wanna travel the world, the world, the world, travel the world.
All right. Hello and welcome to Our Offbeat Life. Today we're actually going to be meeting the Crawfords, a wonderful family who are on the beginning parts of their journey into the full-time travel lifestyle. And so I wanted to give them a chance to introduce themselves. We have all three of them here today, which is a first for the show. So hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Great.
Doing well, thanks.
So for those listening and those watching, can you guys tell us who you are and how you got started thinking about traveling the world?
Okay, I'm Julie Crawford. This is Kevin, my husband,
I'm Leah.
my daughter Leah. And getting to this point has actually, I think, taken quite a while. Probably something that
We just love
unknowingly
traveling. We honestly just love traveling.
we do, yes. So we've done a decent amount of traveling with Leah before in the past, a couple of months here, a couple of months there. And then earlier this year, we just sort of started talking, and I really didn't think that anything was going to come of it. I wasn't on board with doing full-time travel. I like having home base, but the conversations kept going, and eventually we all kind of landed on something that we were able to agree on, and we just officially decided, all right, let's go ahead and do this.
I used to not like traveling at all. And now I'm like, yay, travel! Usually.
Usually, yes. How about you, Kevin?
I've always been on, I'd rather be gone than have a house and stay here. But I knew that Julie did not want to do that. She likes having the home base, but then traveling out, but then coming home to, her stuff. So I've just sort of been pushing a little bit as the last 3 years and just, doing more and doing more. And it ended up, she finally agreed, basically. I wore her down.
You wore her down.
It's like, come on. I wish I do this, but I didn't really realize something ahead. It's like, come on, let's go. I just want to get out of the house and go somewhere and do something constantly. And I'm going to just be like, is that cool? Can we go somewhere? No, we're going to stay here and do this and blah, blah, blah.
I love it, Leah. That's awesome. That's the mentality all of us parents want from our kid going into this lifestyle.
That's really why I think the conversations continued to move forward, because she was so enthusiastic about it and so on board with wanting to do it. If she had been apprehensive and saying, no, I don't want to do this, we travel too much, etc., I don't think the conversations would have continued.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. And for those listening at home, I first met the Crawfords at a World School pop-up hub that we were hosting down in Oaxaca, Mexico. And you should definitely go check out. I did a cool little music video called Oaxaca, Oaxaca, which shows photos from everybody, some videos, talking about our time there. It was just so fun. I had to make a little video. But that's how we got our first introductions. And we were talking. And they said this is what they like to do. Right now, they're not doing it full time. They're just have a home base, going out some cool trips, and they want to do it. So they picked our brains, and well, now we're here. So we're gonna talk to some folks who really are ready to do it, who are in the process right now of downsizing and finding everything they have to do. And Julia, Kevin, Leah, if you're ready, let's do a quick lightning round introduction so everybody can get to know you personally a little bit.
Okay, ready.
Water, coffee, soda, or tea? Quick. No.
Water.
Tea.
Coffee.
All of them. Okay. Pool or beach? Where do you prefer to relax?
Cool.
Beach.
Okay.
Depends on the beach.
Depends on the beach. All right. Cat person
the
or dog
pool.
person?
Cat.
Dog.
City or countryside?
Yeah.
City.
My heart's in the country, but logically and, for convenience is city.
Logistically,
Logistically,
city
yeah.
makes more sense.
All right. unlimited free flights or a magical RV that takes you anywhere?
Magical RV that takes me anywhere.
Yeah. Magical RV.
Right. And a time machine moment. If you could take your family to witness any historical event, when and where would you go?
I would go back a while. I don't know why. To Australia. Like 1 year, so nothing changes.
All right.
You-
Australia a year ago.
Think of anything else.
I think the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, good one.
No, that wasn't. That'd be boring. Krakatoa, the volcano over in the South Pacific. I'd like to see it from a distance.
That's good. All right. So everybody, what's your inspiration into full-time family travel?
Boredom
Me?
from staying here.
Okay. So Kevin's is boredom. Leah, what's yours?
Bored of just sitting here the whole time, like, can we actually go somewhere and do something? We're traveling. We're just like, oh, let's go do this. Oh, let's go do this. Oh, let's go do this. And we actually can choose if we just want to sit back and relax. If we're just like, let's go here, then here. Like, rushing all around so we can just sit back and relax and for a moment.
All right. Julie?
I think really what got me started on the direction of leaving home base behind was we had to replace the air conditioning unit. The furnace is very old. The roof is going to need replaced soon. Like there are all these home maintenance things. Like I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on that. Like there's so much more that we could do and experience with that money instead of putting it into this house that we're not necessarily in love with. So as I started thinking about that, that's when I started recognizing or realizing like maybe we should just let all this go and then just head on out and see what happens.
Okay. And have you chosen your initial destination yet?
We have, yes. We signed up with the program that Kevin found on Facebook. So we'll be headed to Cambodia for the month of February and then Thailand for the month of March.
Nice. So what were those influential factors? Like, why did you go that route?
Why did we go that route, Kevin?
I've always wanted to go to Southeast Asia. Angkor Wat has always been on my list that I really want to go see. Thailand is something that I've always wanted to experience also. So this came up, we saw it. We've been looking for programs that have schooling, drop off schooling. And this one is a forest school. It's traveling with the group. So it just seemed to make sense. And it's Southeast Asia.
Oh, yeah.
Hooray for school!
All right, for school.
And we got in. So there was a couple others that we were looking at, but weren't quite sure if we're going to get into them or not. So we just found this one. They said, yes, we have room. Let's do it.
Excellent. Okay. And then what steps have y'all taken to prepare financially to make this step?
Well, we're in a pretty decent place. I have some investments that provide some passive income. And if we can keep that going and not use our retirement, that would be great. But we do have retirement and it should be enough that we can access that and just live off that.
That's good. So you'll be doing some of those work on the side. Will you do anything else for income, or are you basically just planning on enjoying the time and seeing how the investments pay out and how much you can afford with those investments?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not planning on doing anything on the side. If something happens, I mean, Leah always keeps wanting to do a YouTube channel or, if these two do that and somehow it gets monetized, great. If not, then hopefully we'll still be okay.
Okay.
But that's not the driving factor.
Okay. And then another question that obviously comes up with newbie travelers: how do you plan on handling healthcare and emergency medical situations while you're on the road?
Well, we've been looking into healthcare. I've narrowed it down pretty much, I think, to IMG, and they have a traveler's insurance, world health insurance. So it's everywhere except the United States. And it's relatively affordable, especially coming from the United States. I haven't had a job to use insurance for about 3 years, and we've been paying it out of pocket, and it's really expensive. So this is cheaper than that. So that's another consideration of traveling full time, is getting out of the healthcare system here in the States.
Okay. Very good. So yeah, it sounds like you've been doing your research there. How about the education side? Are we going to be doing homeschooling, unschooling, something unique?
I think it's going to end up being a combination of finding programs that have school and perhaps in between a little bit of homeschooling. Long ago, when we first started talking about traveling extensively, Kevin and I both said that neither one of us were really interested in homeschooling. And we still feel that way. But depending on how all of this evolves, we may need to do some. So I've got a friend who's already given me some resources to look into if we need or decide to go the homeschooling route. But I think in general, we'll probably try and find programs, with the community and with the school. And if we need to, then supplement with homeschooling materials.
Okay.
And that's one thing that we really liked about our past travel. We've been going with Boundless Life, and the community and the school is there. And that's what we really enjoy. So we're sort of looking to replicate that in some ways, both the community and the school for Leah to attend.
Okay.
So,
And so, as you all know, I'm also an educator. Leah, what do you think of school?
It depends which school I go to
Mhm.
and the teacher I have. Like last year, I really enjoyed school at Prince. My teacher was just so nice, but this year I had 3 different ed teachers, so I'm not quite sure.
That can be tricky. How have you enjoyed the stuff that you've done with Boundless?
That's fun. I have to say that. I love that sometimes we go out of school, but we're practically with the group, so we're still in school.
That makes sense.
You would leave school, like, and go on field trips to
Yeah.
parks nearby.
Or we'll go with the parents, and we'll just go somewhere for the day.
Very.
and it's back to the community aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the whole social side of it.
Yeah.
And did you have something more, Leah?
We just love community.
Yes.
We love having people to be with and talk to. And I can play with someone who's going on our street or nearby. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, that can be rough sometimes when you don't have something right there by you. Well, what are everybody's biggest fears or concerns about traveling full time?
Go first.
Do I have one? Then do you think I need to set chair?
No, you just
Okay.
go first. I'm going last.
Okay. I still worry about the education aspect for Leah, and how's that going to affect her later down the road? I'm pretty sure she'll be fine, and this will all work out great. And the kids we've met on this, when traveling, have been very articulate, smart. They seem to have together, so I'm not super worried, but that's still a concern.
Okay. Julie?
Yeah. For me, along with the education, is also how difficult it might be for her to make friends and then say goodbye to friends, and then make friends and say goodbye to friends, and not really have that consistent friend group to grow with, which is one reason why we've looked into groups that travel together to different places for an extended period of time so that we get more of that experience. But I do have concerns over how that could potentially affect her, or how she's going to be able to handle meeting people, making good friends, and then having to say goodbye so many times.
Okay, I understand that.
Probably not.
Necessarily for the rest of your life.
We'll see how it goes.
How about
You
you,
know,
Leah?
I went and
Travel with my friends.
Yeah.
with friends from school. What they keep.
Oh, yeah, that I can understand. Take your best friend with you. Yeah. How about you, Leah? What's your biggest concern about this lifestyle?
I'm not a grown up. I don't understand things, so I don't really worry.
That's right. That's fine. Well, how have you all prepared for this transition so far?
If you can see the background, it's all torn apart.
It drops into insurance and looks into stuff, and we get rid of stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Basically, he does the internet research, and then Leah and I have been like going through the house and getting rid of stuff, posting stuff on Facebook Marketplace, putting it in a garage sale, donating it. Yeah, that's I think pretty much what we've been doing so far is just trying to get rid of the amount of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorite and my least favorite parts. I was always a hoarder, not to the extreme, but I like to collect things. So I had a lot of stuff that I felt like was precious to me, but most of it turned out wasn't as precious as I thought. How are you all making those hard decisions?
Hardly.
We're hardly making those decisions.
Or is it difficult to make a
I want to keep this, but we can't. But I want to keep it, but I don't want to keep it. I don't know what to do.
Ah, indecision.
Can't help myself sometimes.
Julie has a very I don't know, a good way to go about it. You do things in stages and you make your boxes, donate, sell, keep, and then you go back and do it again from what you kept. And it's a process. So it seems like it works.
Yeah, I started
good
doing
way-
something like that too. We saw it on Tiny House Nation or something when we were thinking about first we were thinking about going into a tiny house, and so we were looking at how do you downsize to a small tiny house. And that's how they tried to do it there too. You had the three boxes, and there were different sizes too. Yeah.
I've only had a couple of things that I've hesitated on. Like, I know I can't take this with me, but I also don't want to give it away or sell it. Like my sewing machine. So fortunately, those items I've been able to work out with family members here in town. Like, hey, would you like to have this on loan? And if or when we ever settle down in the States again, I'd like to have it back.
I like that on
But-
loan. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think I was very specific in saying, like, you may borrow this, but if or when we come back, I'm gonna want it back.
If
And
you,
everyone's been like, yeah, sure, not a problem.
if you weren't specific
Well,
enough,
when
you can
I'm-
point them back to this episode later.
Right.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, are you going to do any storage units, or do you have friends and family that help you with some of those items?
Yeah, we're planning to keep a few things at my dad's house and a few things at his dad's house. We do have some things, sentimental that we definitely don't want to let go of, but obviously don't want to bring on our travels with us.
And don't want to pay to have a storage unit.
Right. You don't want to pay for that.
Luckily, we have parents that will allow us to use their basements.
Yes.
That's always helpful.
Very.
But we're not looking to keep, household items like couches or dressers or beds or any kitchen equipment. We're not. It's only for a few things, sentimental.
I wouldn't harp on it if you did, because like Brody and I both kept pillows, our favorite pillow. And it's been 5 years we've been gone. We just came back and did a little stint at her father's house. We pulled those pillows out, and even though it was only a week, it was so nice being back on our pillow that we loved. You spend good money on one of those really nice pillows. And we'll plan on getting it
Yeah.
sent to us whenever we do settle down and we're finished with the slow travel and we decide to do it, a home base for a while. So we'll probably have it all sent out to us at that point. So there are certain items I can say, yes, there might be luxury or sentimental that you might want to hold on to and say, these are the ones that I'll have again one day.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've got a logistical and emotional support system in place. Is that friends, family, mostly family, or you or more of the new travel friends that you've been making along the way?
So we are getting support from family, even though we know some of the family
isn't real excited.
Yeah,
about it.
isn't excited about it either because they're just afraid for our safety. They think it's not necessarily the best situation for Leah to be in, constantly changing and moving around, which I understand. But still, everyone's been very supportive. And then the few people that we have met through travels and have reached out to, like you guys, and said, hey, what do you do in this situation? Or how have you approached this? And that's really helpful to get what other people who have already been in this situation, what they have been doing. And it kind of gives us a good starting point.
Yeah, I think that having a community both back at home and the folks that you meet along on the road is really going to be helpful. I'm glad that we can be there for you. And I'm sure you're going to meet some other folks along the road as well that you'll click with and you'll find that sense of community with, hopefully with this group that you're going to be traveling with initially. You find some really good people in there that are going to be long-term friends that you end up meeting all over the place. So I like the idea of that one actually. So can you tell me a little bit more about what you're expecting from that community, the social interaction from being part of the traveling group?
Well, just the community aspects. We all travel together to the same place. So people are saying, oh, I found this apartment, or, we're going to stay in this area. And so we try and match up with those, even though we don't know them quite yet. But if we're in the same building or the same bungalows area, it provides a great opportunity for Leah and their kids just to go out and play. So we're not stuck in a house or an apartment by ourselves with no one else close. So it just makes it easier that she can just open the door and go out to the next building or something and, have people to play with. We hope.
All right.
Yeah, we haven't met any of them.
No, you haven't met them yet. So that'll be very interesting to hear how that's gone when we speak next. But let's move on to the fun stuff because you're getting ready to travel now. I'd like to hear from each of you on the essential items. What is essential to you that you're packing for your travels?
I don't know.
What's something that you absolutely want to take with us when we leave?
Stuffed animals.
Your stuffed animals?
How many stuffed animals do you want to take?
Over 100 of them.
That's a lot. How many bags do you think that would be?
300?
We dealt with this as well when we first started our travels. Our son, he was 6 when we were packing everything up and trying to figure it out. And, we kept a lot of toys. And 5 years later, he's 12 now. And we've been back to Grandpa's and where all the toys are stored in the basement. And most of them, he didn't remember. He said he had a sense of nostalgia with a few things. But for the most part, he didn't remember half the things that we left behind. And the 4 or 5 stuffed animals that we brought, he was like, fine leaving in storage now because he hardly uses them very often anymore. So that's kind of what our experience was on that with the kids stuff. But do you think that you're going to have any essential items that you feel that you'll need to do for your daily lives? A friend of mine says he can't travel without his spatulas. That's his thing. He has to have his spatulas. Brody likes to have good sharp knives because even when Airbnbs we find there's never a good knife for her. And when we were driving through the Americas, I kept a frying pan because I could never find a good frying pan. I love to cook. So those are just kitchen items that we travel with. Is there something that comes to your mind that you feel like you're going to probably bring with you that is unique to you?
Actually, the frying pan is one that I've been thinking about because in a lot of places we'll get to and it's all scratched and gross looking and I don't want to use it, but I don't know.
She wants to use a cast iron pan.
Ideally, but
extremely
that's
heavy.
heavy, so I understand that that's not really the best. So maybe if you want to let me know what frying pan you use, then I'll look into that and see if that's what I want to take.
Sure, I'll send that over to you. If I find it on Amazon, I'll share it in the notes down for everybody, so everybody can see what I use. Kevin, is there anything that you must have?
No, I don't think so. Now,
Stuffed animals.
as we go along, I might find something, but as of right now, I don't necessarily have something I'm like, I have to take this.
Okay. And so I know that we've talked right now, you're planning on doing accommodations and trying to find things as close to the other people in the group that you're with. Is that like anything set? Do they say we're going to this apartment complex? Let's see if everybody can get into this complex, or are they more flexible and say, we're going to this town, see where you can get, this is where we are type situation?
That's how it starts. And then someone else will say, oh, well, I found this place. And then, oh, that looks better. And so, but I mean, we're already planning places to stay in Cambodia, and like 3 or 4 of them are staying in one area, but now that's not available for us. So now we have to figure out something else around it, or with someone else in the group that hasn't chimed in yet to see where they're staying type thing. So it's just it's an organic, just talking, oh, okay, this is where we're going to be. Let's find places around it. And everybody has different budgets.
Mhm.
So what works for one might not work for another. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
but we try and get close.
Yeah. And so then how do you plan on handling the logistics of travel, transportation, visas, things like that?
Well, I guess it depends on where we are. These are things we're still looking into. The leader of the group has a spreadsheet up, and it lists, if visas are needed or not, and where we can get them and how much they are and things like that. So that really helps, so that we can start looking into that aspect also.
Okay.
After this, depending on where we go, unless we find another group or stay with this group, we're going to have to start over again in a new location.
Yeah, and that can be some of the fun parts. Do you have a goal for like your first year or two of travel, like a theme that you want to associate with your travels?
A theme?
Like for us, like we didn't start out with one, all right? We figured it out as we went along because we just happened into 7 Christmases and 7 continents. They kind of turned into our travel theme because we ended up just spending a Christmas in Asia, then another Christmas in North America, then the next one just happened to be in South America. We were like, all right, well, might as well continue this. It just happens that we were doing a different continent. So then we had a wedge in Antarctica, and now we're heading over to Australia for the next one. Yeah. So that ended up being our travel theme. We're doing these 7 Christmases, 7 continents. And then after 7 years, we're going to reevaluate what our travel is going to look like after that.
No, our motto right now is this isn't forever.
Yeah, like basically this is the next step, and just because we've decided to do full-time travel doesn't mean that this is what we have to do forever.
I like it.
And we don't have to stay with this group forever if we don't like them, and it just sort of, we're going to take it and see how it goes and adjust on the fly.
Very good. Yeah, being a little fluid with it. It's nice. Yeah.
Well, the group is actually starting in January, and they're going to stay in Vietnam for January, and then Cambodia for February and Thailand for March. But based on when we're leaving, we're not going to be able to meet them in January. So we're just going straight to Cambodia.
Well, that's going to be...
Well, we want to move over. After that, we're thinking maybe get down to Australia. We're not quite sure yet either. But as you notice, the little one really wants to go to Australia. So
yeah. So she hears that. Yes, she's all ready for it. What are your plans for staying connected with family and friends back home?
Everyone wants to be updated with what we're doing. As we've talked about this more with family, friends, now people that I work with, everyone's like, oh, you're going to post on Facebook, right? Because I want to see where you're going and what you're doing. Yeah, I absolutely intend to do that. And then we got pretty good at doing FaceTime calls or video calls when we lived in a different state from all of our family. So we'll probably just pick that back up, making occasional video calls back home to family and Leah's school friends. That's my plan.
And then once again, if they're both interested somewhat in a YouTube channel. So, something along those lines might.
Both.
Moment was starting the travel vlog before, and so maybe.
I'm on another YouTube channel. I'm sure I do.
Yeah. You never know, because you can do different things, and there's a lot of needs for a lot of interesting styles out there, depending on what you want to broadcast to the world. So if you end up starting yourself a YouTube channel, that's awesome. I'll be one of your subscribers. I want to check out what you're doing. So Leah,
Anyway.
you got one subscriber right here, Leah. I want to see what you're up to. But another tool that we found is helpful for easing concerns of the family members who are worried about your safety is Life 360. We first introduced that to our family when we left, and it's great. If you don't mind a GPS tracker, it's basically it just uses the GPS in your phone, and anybody who you give access to can then see where you are live location, as long as you have it turned on your device. So I was like, Mom, all right, I know you're worried. This way you can see exactly where we are, and you can even pinch and zoom in and see where we are on a map within, a cell tower distance. And that gave her some peace and comfort to start off our travels. My sister-in-law still uses it to track us. I think she might be the only one who still uses it anymore, other than Brody and I, who love to use it. It's like we get out of the car, I drop her off to, I can't find parking, and I drive around the block and she finds me. So it's great.
Yeah, we have used that app before. Not a lot, but we've used it.
So that's another way that for easing those fears. So then what are your top 3 goals for the first year of travel? Okay. Yeah, Leah.
That 10 top coolest things everywhere we go.
Okay. So then you need to tell me next time we talk, what were the 10 top things in Cambodia?
Okay. We're going to look them up and see what other people think they're cool inside.
But I want to know what the 10 top things are for you.
What your top 10 is.
All right, Kevin, how about you? What are your ideal top 3 things for your first year of travel?
I hope it becomes a bit easier, less research before we go to each place. It's a lot of time, and I don't want to be spending the whole month of March in Thailand trying to figure out what we're going next and what we're going to be doing. And I like the slow travel, at least a month, maybe a little bit more in a place. So that's what I want to continue doing.
Excellent. And Julie?
Oh, I hadn't really thought about this question. I guess it would be just to do and experience a lot of things that we wouldn't otherwise get to do if we weren't traveling. Things that we can expose ourselves, but especially Leah to see what sparks her interest and what she really loves. And just be an overall really good educational experience for her.
Yeah, you'll be surprised at how many things turn into educational opportunities that you would never have thought of being an educational opportunity. I mean, just driving, we've been driving across the U.S. Just driving across the U.S., we've now had talks about forest fires because we've had to drive through the Northwest now, and driving into and through Boise and stuff like that, and seeing the forest fires, or not being able to go through the redwoods that we wanted to do because of it. And so all these came up as conversations, not just between me and my wife, but our son. He had to have questions, or what is this, or why are they? And so just driving turns into educational experiences. So it's going to be cool. And then how do you plan to document and share your journey with others? Or do you plan on documenting and sharing it with others?
My only plan at this moment is Facebook photos, maybe sharing some videos. That's really all that I'm kind of putting all the pressure that I'm putting on myself to do. Because if I set out with this grand idea of I don't even know what, I think it's going to be too much pressure on me to deliver something that I think is fantastic for everybody, where instead it's just like, well, you know what, in all our other trips, I've just posted photos like, hey, on this day, this is where we were, this is what we experienced, here are the photos and videos, and there you go. So as of this moment, that's what I'm planning to continue.
I like it. Yeah, keep it simple, and if you keep it down to one thing, you can keep the quality where you want it. I like it.
That's true.
She's the social director, so I don't plan on doing anything.
Just kind of like chill. I'm gonna enjoy this travel. Yes.
She has to yell at me to take pictures
I
of
do.
her.
To prove that I'm there too. Like, take a
That
picture of me, so I was here too.
that can be a challenge. Remembering, there's sometimes is the person in the family who's the photographer and gets left and they do feel like they get left out or occasionally. So it's always good to just try to remember, all right, did I take some pictures of everybody? Am I in some of the photos? And if you are the photographer and you want some photos of yourself, don't feel bad by saying, take some of me now, please. Because you
I
might you
don't.
might not be there again. Yeah. You might not ever be there again. All right. So what what are you looking forward to experiencing as a family versus things that you could have done by yourself?
Well, I mean, in the last 7 years that when we've been traveling, it's all been about showing Leah things. Before it was, I would go somewhere, before we got married with my friends, and it'd be a totally different experience. And then she and I would start going places, and it would change a little bit, but not a lot. We going out at night, having dinner, experiencing that, which we don't do as much with Leah. We go out to dinner and stuff, but we're still back early and not out the bars drinking or anything. So
I never were.
well, I was used to. But so it's more experiences in the geology, the experiences of new cultures and things like that. And that's what I would hope to continue.
Okay. Okay. And how do you think that this lifestyle is going to impact your family dynamics and your relationships?
I'm hoping it will strengthen them because you really have to communicate and have patience when you're traveling with anybody. And especially when there are kids involved, there are different expectations between the adults and the kids. And we learned very quickly that the way that we used to travel, just the two of us, we couldn't do anymore. We can't fly in at 11 o'clock at night and then get up the next morning super early and have a day jam packed with stuff. Like, nope, that's going to set us up for failure. So we very quickly learned that we had to slow it down and that was okay and actually more enjoyable.
And that's one reason I do like the slow travel, so we don't have to pack things in. We could say, okay, no, we can just relax today. We can do that tomorrow or next weekend or, whatever it might be.
I hear you. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. And so then now that you've been planning this, I know, well, we saw you last in, what was it? June or July? So now I know it's September. So we've had a few months now that you've been talking about and planning and getting your logistics going, and you're not leaving until you said February. So you've got things to do. What advice would you give to people traveling and considering doing this themselves?
You have a lot more stuff than you think you do, and it's going to take longer to get rid of it.
But do it.
But do it. Oh, I like her.
And, you expect, oh, we can get some money for this, and, we'll make this much money on this garage sale, and you never do. And it's just, you have a ton of crap, and everybody has the same crap, and no one wants to buy your crap. So
It's very true.
That's poignant.
and everybody, if you have a house, it's filled with stuff, and it just takes a lot to get rid of it. So start early.
Yeah.
Very early. You should always do it. Even if you're not planning to travel full time, you should always do it.
Yes.
And since you do
You want to
travel full time, you're like, oh, I just have to get rid of this stuff and I'm done.
Do you enjoy? Have you been enjoying selling things, Leah?
It really depends if we have a lot of customers. Oh, we have any customers? Oh, a lot. Hooray, more money. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes.
have fun at the garage sales.
Except this is pretty much what I'm doing all the time. Or walking around.
And she's been helping me sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace, which has been helpful. She'll help me go through the rooms and decide what to keep, what to donate, sort things out. So she's been really very helpful with that. But yeah, the getting rid of stuff I knew was going to be quite the process. And so as soon as we really like decided, okay, this is what we're going to do, I immediately started going through the house and just seeing, all right, where we're going to clear this out and clear this out, and then started making decisions. I've got boxes of categories around the house of where stuff is going to this donation place, that donation place, we're going to sell this, etc. I mean, and it's overwhelming. And I feel like we also have a lot less stuff than most people, and it's still a lot. So get started early
Yeah, it
and
can
just
be a
realize
ton.
that it's a process and it's going to take a while.
All right. Well, as we come to an end with our conversation, I love to have a little world trivia question time. So, if you guys are ready, you got three brains there. Let's see who shines in the family at this. How many wonders of the world are there?
Depends on who you ask.
Wait,
Like,
what?
7.
how many wonders of the world?
Are these the ancient wonders or the new wonders?
Let's
Oh, yeah, there is 7.
7. Yes, I like.
Natural wonders of the world or something.
Yeah, I like to go with the original. Yeah, so that's 7 wonders of the world. All right. Which 2 countries share the world's longest international border?
Is it Russia and China?
Yeah, that was going to be my. Or is the U.S. and Canada?
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Which
I don't
one?
know any of these questions. These are grown-up questions.
U.S. Canada.
Yeah, I would say U.S. and Canada.
U.S. and Canada. All right. All right, here's one for you, Leah. The Great Barrier Reef can be found off the coast of which country?
Australia.
Excellent. And what is the largest country by size?
Russia.
Canada.
She got it. Leah got it.
I know.
What were you saying about these being adult questions? Where would you travel to visit the Amazon rainforest?
Asia?
Not Asia. Let's say the continent. What's the continent? South America is the continent. You can definitely go and see it in Brazil. It's amazing.
We were on it.
All right.
I was on it with friends in Ecuador.
Oh, yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, Peru.
Uh-huh.
The Peruvian.
Peruvian one? Yeah, we drove down to it in Colombia when we were traveling through the mountains. We ended up coming down. All right. Sydney Opera House and the Harbor Bridge are famous landmarks in which country?
Wait, what?
What's your
The Sydney
yelling.
Opera House and the Harbor Bridge are famous landmarks in which country?
I don't understand the question.
You did? What? You didn't want to go to the city, Sydney, because
It's the country you want to go to.
Australia!
There we got it. All right. So let's do 2 more. Big Ben is located in which European city?
Oh, which
Okay,
European
Ben.
city? Oh, Big Ben.
I heard Big Ben too.
Like you said, what band? And then you said European. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I think
Do you know Big Ben?
The-
We've talked about it, but
the-
only briefly.
The really big clock tower.
She got it. She said England.
Nice. All right. Last one. In which country can you visit the Louvre Museum?
the what?
Please.
The Louvre.
Blues.
Where,
Like the Mona Lisa, lots of art, famous.
Europe.
where the Olympics were held.
But what country? Europe's the continent.
Brazil.
The Olympics were that we just watched.
Brazil. France.
France. There you got it. All right. And Leah, one more just for you. What country are kangaroos from?
Australia.
Yes. All right. Well, it's been awesome having y'all on today. I cannot wait to catch up with you in a year. Heck, I can't wait to probably see you guys. We're both going to be in Southeast Asia. We might end up running into each other. So that would be amazing.
At the end of January, we might be in Singapore, right before we go over to Cambodia. So if you guys are still there,
Well, very cool. Yeah, we're going to try to figure that out 'cause Singapore is expensive. Of
Yes.
most of Southeast Asia is pretty affordable, but last couple times we were in Singapore, it's pretty expensive. So we'll see how that goes. I wanted to go to Vietnam with a friend of mine in January, February. So we'll see how that ends up paying out anyhow. And then heading over to Singapore and that area, just because, last time we tried doing Asia, it got ruined by COVID. And this time we're hoping to do it right.
Yeah.
I really hope to be able to have you guys back to finish next season talking about how your travels have gone and if they went according to plan, if there was any snafus, if there was anything amazing that happened, all the alls. So
Hopefully we have nothing but good things to report.
Yeah,
we'll-
it's never offered.
that's
Hopefully
okay.
nothing.
So before we go, Leah, do you have any parting advice for the other kids out there who are getting ready to go on this lifestyle?
Do it. And do the top 10 coolest things.
Do the
I
top
give
10.
you a top showing, circle the Great Barrier.
Yep.
Julie, what's your parting advice?
I guess if somebody's on the fence about whether or not to do this, going back to what we were saying before is I finally just decided, like, yes, this is what we're going to do because it doesn't have to be this way forever. Just because we're selling the house and our stuff and deciding to travel doesn't mean that this is the answer that we have to do from here on out. So why not just give it a try and see what's out there and if this is for us? So that would be my recommendation to others is why not? You can always come back.
You can always come back, and that's really poignant. And I just found that out myself. Reconnecting with friends again in the U.S. as we were driving across. Heck, one of them told me he loved how much experience I've had and this and that and the other thing, that he would go in business with me if I ever came back to the U.S. So I'm like, oh, well, if I have another fallback if I want to. So those types of things. How about you, Kevin?
Pretty much the same thing. Growing up, luckily my parents took us places. Lots of times it's just down to Florida from Ohio, but it still opened my mind to the potential of travel. So we go out west, and that just instilled in me a love of travel. So I think it's so beneficial, especially for kids, to go out and experience the world. So do it.
Nicely said. I think all three of you basically just said, do it.
Yes.
Maybe that's the family motto now. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought of that myself. You're right. Yeah. Just do it.
Well, thank
we
you
can't
all again. It's been awesome talking with y'all. And I really look forward to our next big conversation. And we will put that on the books as soon as possible. But until then, I mean, keep on messaging if you have more questions. We're there for you. And same thing for you out there, listeners. If you guys have questions, if you're thinking you're on the fence, you can send us some messages, and we'd be happy to field some questions for you to help you figure out how to do certain things or how we do it. If you want to hear that, it's helpful for some folks, and it could be helpful for you as well to figure out how to get that spouse on board, or how to address the subject with your children, or should you or do you need health insurance? What kind of SIMs do you need? eSIMs or physical SIMs wherever you go? These types of questions come up in our conversations, and all the conversations, and we can help you out with those types of things. But until the next episode and until the next time, we will say goodbye to the Crawfords and hopes that we will see them again here really soon. Take care.
Thank you.
We just wanna see something bigger than us, to see and smell and taste something completely new. We just wanna travel the world, the world, the world, travel